Good. Hey. All right. Take my pants off. So, up next will be one of the artists in the show. They have a great project. Their name is Red 76, and one of their founder and fearless leader will be speaking right now. His name is Sam Gould. Give it up for Sam Gould.
Off later.
I am Ben Franklin, I am standing in the shower, I am covered in cold water, I prefer to drip dry. I am Ben Franklin, I am standing in the shower, I am covered in cold water, I prefer to drip dry. I am Ben Franklin, I am standing in the shower, I am covered in cold water, I prefer to drip dry.
Sort of like the linchpin that holds it together in a way. You're always involved in every Red 76 project.
That seems to be the case, and throughout its history, that's never been that I've wanted that. It's just like the way that it's been. Yeah. It always falls back to that, and I think after a certain point, I was like, okay, I guess this is mine. Yeah. And then it just gets to be like this kind of nebulous of friends. And it just keeps expanding, around the region, around the country, around the world. So that there are like all of these people that I interact with now, and somehow they get filtered in through the mix. But there's usually, kind of a core group of people, and there has been for its entire existence. All of us have been kind of interacting with one another in one way or another for about 10 years now. It's as much internal conversation of ideas and interests for how we want to live our lives with one another that we kind of make public and invite other people to take part in.
In light of recent events that week, including the proposed bailout plan for major U.S. banks, does the Revolutionary Spirit Project have longevity past the 2008 presidential election?
Well, I don't know. Maybe. The thing is the funny thing is really it's just a name, because most of our work anyway fits within that model of the Revolutionary Spirit Project. So like, it's just a matter of labeling. It's marketing.
Branding.
Yeah, it's branding. It's
So
I don't know.
Sense so people can kind of.
Yeah, just be like, okay, I understand it works within this theme. Yeah. It's like conceptually, it's a conceptual title. But I don't. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see if America's even here in the next couple of weeks. It might be like AmeriCorp by the time the election comes. But I'm not quite sure. Kind of playing it day by day. Most importantly, right now, I'm interested in spending more time with my wife and my son. Yeah. And we're gonna go on some adventures.
And your son's 1?
Yeah, he
just turned 1, right?
August 26th, he turned 1 years old.
Wow.
He had a really wonderful birthday party. It was great. His name is Lewis. He's a very special little boy.
Yeah, I've met Lewis. He's pretty great.
Yeah, I like him too.
Aside from spearheading Red 76, as well as being a husband and father, Sam has another occupation.
I have started teaching, and there's kind of an educational component in all of Red 76's work. But I've actually started teaching graduate school, which I find very funny because I was kicked out of my first year of college, and now I'm teaching graduate school, which part of me really loves. I think that's fascinating. It reaffirms my faith in humanity.
How did Red 76 build itself from nothing into the collective it is today? Sam describes their journey over the past 10 years.
It's been a kind of long and strange process. For like the first third of Red 76's existence, it was like a no budget. It was like an anti-budget institution. But we started working more with museums and alternative spaces and colleges and like college galleries and whatnot.
So they're pretty open.
Yeah, they are, and it's really interesting, these conversations that you get to have with these folks, and usually, they're getting in touch with us.
So they see what you do, and they're like, we really like what you do?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, everything's relative. It depends on who you're talking to.
Right.
I mean, I know there are a lot of a lot of curators or a lot of people within these institutions who I'm sure think what we're doing is fucked. And maybe they're right, but like that's the point. We're interested in skewing our everyday to be able to, look at it a little bit differently. And if they're not interested in that, that's fine. Some people don't necessarily consider it art, and that's okay too. I don't. I consider it art, and I don't consider it art. I don't think it matters.
As a financial meltdown began that week, Sam stresses the importance of independence and finding your own way to do things.
It's really important for people to figure out how to fund their own projects and create their own kind of microeconomies that circulate within one another and not be reliant on traditional avenues of funding, as we have figured out quite recently, as I figured out this morning when I realized that my bank crashed and was bought out by JP Morgan. Nothing is for certain. So why not rely? Washington Mutual.
They crashed this morning?
Mm-hmm.